So one of the things that I see are the structures within the body and outside of the body, and the planetary bodies. So I've noticed all of these grid systems of mind and how they hold reality in place. Some of them are crumbling on their own because they just can't hold cohesion. They're not supported anymore by our collective mind and by the mind of the earth. Everything is in existence because it is perceived into that form, and it's created into that form. Everything, everything. There has to be an idea. There was an idea of human. Human came forward, right? Should have brought as a little prop my twisted spoon, because it so beautifully illustrates this. That here's a form because there was an idea of let's have a spoon and this is what it looks like and this is how to calibrate it and this is the machinery to make it. And the beautiful human mind created that out of nothing. That's a miracle. It's a miracle. And we take it for granted because we're just used to, oh, that's life. We don't stop for a minute sometimes, right? This beautiful spoon, someone encouraged us in a group to hold the spoon and touch the consciousness of the spoon where it was cohesed into form. So I did that. And as I did that, I just said hi to it. Hi. And I felt this point at which I said, well, gee, you know, where's before the form? And it went, it all of a sudden lost all cohesion. And I was able to, with my hands, not just my mind, but with my hands, and I went like that, just like that. Twisted spoon. 90 degree angle. Is that a 90 degree? Yeah, that's a 100 degree. Yeah. And there it is, and then it held that form because I had the idea, well, let's do that. And there it is, and I've done it several times. That's us. We let go, and we create anew. We let go, we create anew. We let go, we create anew. And we're doing that constantly, constantly with our bodies, our minds, and our lives, right? So everybody does this. It's available, right? That's how I do the physical trauma work I do so easily. I go in and talk with the body and say, look, do you really want to keep that shape? Because the trauma goes, and the body contracts into the shape, and then our human mind goes, oh right, I broke it, so well, it's broken. But the mind can literally say no. The mind can say, oh, it looks broken. Well, let's stop that. I don't want that. You know, we don't have to hold that imprint. And we go, no, no, go back, and it will. And it does, even old stuff. So this is an illustration of the creative function that we have. We have this. Every single person has this potential and ability. And you're doing it anyway. The problem is that we keep running through these same structures. And we keep making them real. Right? So, the structures can change. Right? How am I able to do what I just illustrated and told you about? Because I let go. I just let go. And I played. I went, oh, look at that. Well, gee, how about that instead? Okay. And the universe says, okay. But there were some structures of my mind that I did not have anymore, that I was born into, that allowed me to do that. we were all taught, okay, this is reality, this chair is solid, oh, you break something, well, you're going to get arthritis when you're old because you broke that. So that's a common medical fact, right? You're supposed to expect that, so people expect it and they have it, okay? That's buying into the thought patterning and into these grid systems of mind, right? So getting back to the metaphysical grids of the human body, we have them internally. You might say that a real obvious one is our bones, our skeleton. It's a structure, very amazing structure, and how that's held together. Again, it's a miracle, right? Then there's the meridian system. That's a grid system, in a sense. You don't usually call it a grid, but you can see it. It kind of looks like a grid, right? And if you could see it inside the body, it definitely looks like a grid. If anybody's ever seen a building that's being constructed, if you've ever seen those, the rebar, these metal bars sticking up, right? I've actually helped do that on a building once. It was quite something, where you make these baskets and grids with this rebar and then this strong metal to hold the shape of the building. So we have those. We have them inside our body, we have them outside our body. We have them in our mental field, we have them in our emotional field, we have them in our causal field. And we're aligned with the grids of this planet because we live here. We have to be. We're in it. We're in the grid system. And there's many grid systems of the planets too. So her mind, same thing. There's grids inside the planet Earth. There's grids outside the planet Earth. Some are to hold the physicality of the Earth together, just like in our own bodies. Crystals, the water, all of that is part of the circulation system, the relay station, the electrical impulsing, right? The crystals go pum, 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 pum. The magnetite, they've done studies with magnetite and iron ore underneath the ground with the magnetics about that. How long does it take for the sound to go this far, or the impulses to go through those? Okay. That's one of the benefits from growing up in northern Minnesota. Thank you. There was something. I should say that. It's a beautiful place. Just, it's out there in the boonies. But wilderness is good, right? So even that is an illustration of how that place is serving with all that magnetic ore there. It's there for a reason. It's not just to make our lives easier, right? So some of the mind or consciousness grids of this planet, they're shifting. Some are very life-affirming for humans and other sentient beings on this planet. Some are very life-destroying. And some feed negative energies back and forth. So why is there this amazing thing always happening in the Middle East for so many years? It's a vortex. There's tremendous amount of negative thought forms and negative energies and such. It's a nodal point for that. That's why it keeps happening there. It's not the oil. The oil is a part of the manifestation of it, and the fight over the oil, and the greed over the oil, and all of that stuff. So that's like our bodies. That's our minds, right? Because everything's shifting, it's like, like a boil. You know what happens with a boil? There's this well, can kind of deal with it thing, and it stays kind of under the surface. But then it comes more and more to the point, and that's where we are in our evolution. More and more and more so. And it keeps getting more intense for us. We also have these places in our body, or have had these places in our body, where we've had the negative portals or points or whatever. And that's why we're doing the clearing with the chakras. We're doing a lot of kind of clearing and beautiful work as a species around this.